Hello folks, welcome to another one of these hopefully weekly analysis series. Today we're going to take a look at Marco Fichera versus Enrico Garozzo, focusing on Fichera's ability to just get really close to his opponent. Before we get started, the usual stuff, check out my Patreon, check out my Discord, check out my sponsor fechtklingen.de for blades and socks that should just come out, things like that, all available in Europe. Code ROBOTKLINGEN for 5% off. And if you do, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Not a lot of people trying to be fencing influencers, and I'm really lucky that I get to do even a little bit of that just because I love the sport. All right, let's get right into it. 40 years ago, 50 years ago, Hammerberg published Epee 2.0. Some of it very useful, some of it very a product of his times in terms of how everybody is doing it now. But one of the big universal laws he put there was get close, win bouts. The fencer who's willing to fence at a closer distance just wins, even if their technical ability is lower. And for the next 50 years, up until almost about a couple of years ago, people just kept getting closer and closer and closer. There's a really big watershed you can see between pre-Hammerberg and post-Hammerberg fencing. When pre-Hammerberg people go way out of engagement distance, reset, think about what they're going to do, and then go a little bit closer. And post-Hammerberg, everybody stays in engagement distance and is constantly looking. And over time, what engagement distance has meant has gotten closer and closer and closer up until basically this bout. Now people have started backing off just a tad to allow for a little bit more flexibility in terms of actions. But we're going to take a look at this bout and see just how good just being close can be. A reminder when we get started, the P rules here, the passivity rules are a minute, no touch, you go to the next period immediately. What we're looking at is Marco on the left and just how close he gets to Garozzo without doing any big actions, just focused on the blade and keeping his blade threatening. And these are both Italians, and the Italians are very much at the forefront of this. So it's not like Garozzo is either unfamiliar with this or unwilling to play that game himself. But we're looking at really tight, close actions, very small threats to the hand. And you just have to control the distance the way you want and react perfectly to every threat. If your reaction is off, or your distance is off, or your timing is off, if you don't take a step back or you do take a step forward, you lose. And it's not complicated blade work, it's just perfect blade work. They get closer than this, but already you can see how far the tips are overlapping without a very big extension. Faint, but so Garozzo's doing these little pokes, and Fichera is doing these little pokes. Garozzo is responding with these really tiny hand motion parries, just enough to catch the blade. Because if he does anything bigger, Fichera is going to disengage and hit him. One, two, and then ref says non-combativity. It's not just about how close they are, which is incredibly close. It's about who is closing the distance and why. If Fichera is closing the distance, then Garozzo has to react to it. If Garozzo is closing the distance, Fichera needs to back up. And if they both close the distance, you get some fireworks. And that was an excellent example. If you go back, watch this in half speed, you'll see feint, goes back. Okay. Now Garozzo is pushing. Fichera's opened the distance, not much, but enough. And then it's feint, It's the same action he's been doing before, but Garazzo is now surprised by it and not able to take the step back he needs. So the action is too big, and it's an immediate touch for Fichera, even though he doesn't do anything complicated. Just really good control of the distance, starting from him breaking distance just a little bit, then coming back together with the feint when Garazzo is just not prepared for it. So it's back and forth, slowly edging closer to each other. And Fichera's tip is just straight at Garazzo. He's got that lean going, so you can only go through the blade. You have to go into the arm. You can't, because that's just all there is going through the blade. It's little pokes to the wrist, little extensions, and you have to respond to them because he's so close that if you don't, he can hit the hand without even taking a step. And you have to just respond perfectly to everything. That one, Garazzo got caught in the parry and then thought he could get around it, but the parry was good. I've been obsessed with Fichera for a long time. I've done a highlight reel on him. I described him once as pushing this fencing to its technical limit. It's so close, and the distance of the obvious control is very good, and the anticipation is very good, but the technical skill you need to be able to follow the pairs and disengages at this close is phenomenal. And if you don't have that level of skill, you just lose, because he'll walk up to you, feint, you'll take a too big of a parry, and you'll get hit. And we've gotten now to the point where really everybody at the top level can do that, and we've gotten better at threatening the advances and the distance closes. But for a while it was just get close, get a touch. And now you can see him getting closer and closer. And now they're both getting closer, and you get wild fireworks. You get another non-combativity. So good from there from Garazzo to push. Every time Garazzo comes forward, Fichera has to be hyper aware of it and come back. And every time Fichera comes forward, Garazzo has to be hyper aware of it and come back. And if he's not, Fichera comes in and hits like that. Too far. One thing to notice here looking at Fichera's footwork is that he's not bouncing. He's not doing any of that because he doesn't have the time to bounce. The time he spends in the air bouncing even that little bit is time he's not precision adjusting the distance. It's just step, 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 step. Push forward, push back. Got really good, got lucky on the hand there. But honestly, because Garazzo was running away like that, it's very, very safe. Quit arguing. Yeah, that was a touch. The things to notice is a very wide stance. Because he's starting so close, he doesn't need a long lunge distance, so he can afford a wider stance. Ooh, that was really, really good. That was just good backline defense followed by keeping this good stance going forward. I think we talked about that in the Howry video, where if you keep your good on guard, you can change direction really fast. One of the advantages of Fichera's wide on guard here is that it lets him stay very low and balanced and change direction linearly, backwards and forwards, without going up and down. Double touch test. Those are always fun. if you look at Fichera's hand, it's just staying right in Garazzo's face. Always right in his face. He's not doing any of the wild blade work waves that El Sayed or Imrik do. He's not doing any of that. He's just forward and back with little parries. And when he goes back with the parry and he goes back with the parry, because he's so set, Garazzo comes forward too far, Fichera instant counter flush, or counter lunge, or some kind of a counter attack. Another one there, holds the blade, goes in. And all it is really that Fichera is able to operate closer than Garazzo. One of the things I wanted to mention is that Harmerberg's theory is that if you're willing to get closer, the lower skilled fencer can win if they're willing to fence closer. And that was true in his time because people were so far away. Fichera has pushed this to the limit and flipped that. Now you need the technical skill to operate at this close of a level. If your bleed work isn't impeccable, you're going to get hit because they're so close, there's no time to recover from an error. Another back up. Yeah. Another one there. One of the things the lean is doing, which I think I didn't cover clearly enough, is that it's forcing Garazzo to get past Fichera's blade because there's nowhere else to go. His whole body is behind his blade. And so it's just another aspect of forcing a technical test on who has the better blade work. Because it's Fichera right now, and every time Garazzo tries to engage with the blade, it's 6, but like a little 6. It's seriously just, see my hand rotating? That's the 6. That's the 4. Combined with his step backwards until he's ready. Or Garazzo overcommits or sees the opportunity and then he goes. Garazzo, of course, no slouch, but just not be able to keep up in this bout. Look how far across their blades are. There it is again. Garazzo's kind of on tilt now and not really prepping anything, just pushing and pushing. But because he's not prepping anything, it's just even easier for Fichera to hold on the distance. As Garazzo pushes forward, Fichera goes backwards, but Fichera goes backwards a little bit less than Garazzo goes forward, and that causes the distance to collapse, and Garazzo isn't aware of it, and that's what helps set up Fichera for those last few touches. I love this bout. I think it's great. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a really good lesson for anybody not fencing at the absolute top level because it shows just how close you can get and operate normally, not go into infighting, just stay regular fencing. You don't need to get this close, but you can probably get a lot closer than you are now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have other fencers you want to see, let me know and I'll take a look and analyze them. Otherwise, have a good weekend.